is a geek.
Hi, I'm Tony from GodIsAGeek.com, and obviously this is the wireless force feedback racing we're going to talk about, obviously, for part of our review. Obviously, nice big box it comes in, but obviously we've already unpacked it ready for you so you can have a look. So first things first, you've got the actual steering wheel itself, the floppy pedal gearbox, and a nice motorised steering function with your face buttons and whatnot. Also, as you can see here, you've got the pedals, so you accelerate and brake, and literally put that up on the floor, just simply hook that bar into there, and off you go. Now, with the pedals itself, as you can see, we've got some wires. So it does say wireless, but there's a reason for these. You've got an Ethernet cable here, as you can see. Nice little Ethernet cable, and that plugs into the steering wheel as well as a power plug as well. So that's the only wires you've got with it. Obviously there's a function here, if you were to just play like that, it's quite top heavy and it'll just flop down. So you've got two options. If you're at a desk like this, you've got this little bracket here. You can literally if you see these locator holes as you can see, you literally just throw that in there and then just clamp it to your desk by tightening up this little bit here. Or if you don't have a desk and you want to play, and we've also got these little plates here, you can literally just spin the steering wheel over, and with these plates you throw them in, locating all the holes. It's got screws inside, so you get yourself a little screwdriver, screw it in, and they sit nicely on your knee as well. Nice little rough pads, so when they're on your knee they don't go anywhere, so it's nice and secure as driving. Also we have a little gear stick as well, which we'll come on to a bit later. But as you can see, it's a nice fair bit of kit for it. Obviously we're now going to go and build it up, and we're going to have a little bit of F1 and maybe a bit of Forza 4 later.
So we're taking a look at F1 here with this lovely steering wheel tone.
Yes, we are. Obviously, yeah, F1 gone as a McLaren Jensen Button, so we're going to go on a little race at Silverstone, a couple of laps there. So let's start the race now. As you can see, you got your face buttons there and whatnot. Between the flappy pedals here and the buttons there, you got your other bumpers, triggers, whatever. So now, obviously, and when you steer it, you can feel a nice bit of resistance. You can probably hear that as well. The motor is it really does feel nice when you're driving, as we'll talk through in a minute. As you can see here, flappy pedal gearbox. You've got an option for a gear stick, which I'll show you in a bit. And obviously down here are the pedals, which we've already looked at. So now we'll obviously get into a race and we'll talk through and see what it feels. So obviously foot down, here we go.
Ready to rock.
Yep. And flappy pedals are there ready to go. Whoop. So steer it. Yeah, as you can steer it, it's really nice and responsive as well. So everything is pretty much one-to-one, I have to say. You got nice acceleration control and everything.
And you can see the resistance it's giving off there.
Yeah, when you're going over rough terrain and bumps as well, the whole thing's rattling as well. Sometimes as well, when you change gears into corner, you'll feel it, and it feels quite nice.
So we're not judging you on ability here, because it's hard to play and talk.
Yeah, it's
obviously a driving game.
Yeah, getting used to the game as well. So you can see, drop down the third with the flappy pedals. It's all nice and quick. Oh, span out again. As you can see from the screen as well, from the footage and me turning it, it definitely is one for one. It really does feel good. Yeah, the amount of precision this thing's got with your steering as well. You do feel like once obviously you get used to it. Obviously, I don't know, I'm flying around the track like a maniac at the moment, like a proper noob. I assure you, I've tried to practice on this, but it's hard to drive and talk at the same time. Well, race and talk at the same time. Got a nice satisfying clunk as well when you're changing gear. Oh, too fast into that corner. Always that corner. Run over the DRS sign.
So do you feel it is? Do you feel it's 1-to-1?
Yeah, I really do feel like it's 1-to-1. It's really accurate. There's definitely no lag into it as well.
Because obviously being wireless, that's...
It's very impressive wireless. Obviously you think there might be like a small bit of lag or whatever. And it's not like some steering wheels I've changed in the past when you're steering it and it's just like free to move and you don't get any feeling of the game. With this, it really does feel like you're going for it.
So what people sadly aren't going to be able to experience here is, and I can see it, hopefully this is coming through on the video, that it's really kicking back at you as you hit them corners.
Yeah, it's giving me resistance and all that, and like I say, going over the rumble strips, you will feel the bumps.
I mean, we've purposely put the microphone for our audio quite close to the wheel, so you can hopefully hear the vibration through the desk here.
Yeah, you can certainly feel the vibration as well. And, you know, the resistance it gives as well. Obviously, I've never driven a F1 car before in real life, but I imagine this is how something it would feel like. But obviously, probably a bit harder in real life. But yeah, it really does feel good, and it does add to the simulation, as it were.
Something we aren't showing at the moment is that if you haven't got a desk that you can attach it to in a sturdy manner, like we have here.
Yes.
This model comes with what would you call them? Knee.
Yeah, two little plates you throw in the bottom. You screw them, and the screws are already in there. And then you just literally screw it all up. You can slap it on your knees quite happily, and it feels comfortable to drive as well. So obviously, if you don't have the option of desk at home, you just throw it on your knees, and you can
sit on the sofa
play
if
away.
You want, yeah.
Yeah, sit on the sofa and happily play away. Yeah, obviously I would put a mat down underneath the pedals because they can slip away, but if you at least have one foot in at all times and you're not kicking for the game, you know, like throwing your body around as it were, they will stay put and they will feel pretty good. But just as a bit of safety, throw a mat down so stop sliding. As you can see, I'm getting the knack of this now. He says he's about to crash.
So if you had a wood floor, you definitely would need something underneath.
Oh yeah, you want a mat or something like that, a rubber mat, or just even, you know, outdoor mat. Just something to stop it sliding around. The accelerator as well, it's not just like either full on or not at all. You have got the acceleration control you need there, as well as brake control, so you can brake as hard or as soft as you want.
So it's not a case of push pedal down to go, it's responsive.
It's very responsive, yeah. It's really handy as well, so for precision when driving into these corners and everything like that, you can literally put the car you're driving where you want it to. And there you go.
Excellent, so we've had a quick test of F1. Let's have a look at Forza.
Yeah. Well, after that fiasco with F1, we've gone to a bit of Forza 4 now. A bit of an easier track with a Bugatti Veyron, because obviously nice fast track. One thing to note as well, it's not just the flappy pedals for this. You got this little gear stick. Obviously, you throw that into there, as you were. So then, pulling back towards you, goes up a gear, down a gear. But for this purposes of this, I like a flappy pedal. You don't have to have the gear stick there. You've got an option for this side as well.
So
you can throw it there,
so to speak.
Yeah, so you got your left or right hand option.
Okay.
So simple as that, really.
Just basically a hole then.
Yeah. So, let's have a bit of a race.
So, Forza 4 then.
Yeah, bit of Forza 4 now. Actually, this is my first time playing this game in all honesty, so I just haven't been able to play it in my time, so. But at the moment, I've had a little race before this one. I can tell you that it certainly feels really more precise. Obviously, F1 being a really quite fast I've nearly lost this already. So yeah, obviously F1 being really quite fast, obviously you have to be very quick with it, but this one obviously, yeah, fast cars and all that, but it's a bit slower than F1, so you can quite happily deal with it. And once again, the controls are all nice and precise, just a little movement of the steering wheel, and you can see it on the screen as well. I'm literally just moving slightly and it's going around really nice. And obviously dropping a gear into the corner as well, so I don't go slamming into the wall. He says as he goes slamming into the wall. Then obviously drop the gear up. And not only that, when the car steers, when you lose control and the car starts swerving, the steering wheel will move as well, so you have to fight it to get it back into position, which is another little nice addition this steering wheel has.
Force feedback, I suppose.
Yeah. So obviously when you get the resistance as well, you then have to try and deal with it. As you can see, I'm sliding a bit here, so I'm trying to fight the steering wheel to get it back into position, and it's working nicely. I'm out of the skid.
How strong is that resistance?
It's very minimal, but obviously in real life it'll be pulling round, as it were. But you can feel it. It doesn't feel right, and obviously when you're looking on the screen, you then adjust it yourself. But it's a nice little touch of realism this steering wheel has. And like I say, once again, the acceleration pedal and the brake pedal are touch responsive as well. It's not just on and off. And so you can feather the throttle quite nicely around the corners and feather the braking you want to go into. So nice and hard, then slowly easing off. As you can see, nice 2 laps of that circuit there.
God is a beast.